Greetings, one and all. I am Kerrik 52. We did Sweet Home, we did Alone in the Dark, so naturally, it's time for Resident Evil. Director's Cut. Not the DualShock version, we're not doing Clown Basement. Though in that version's defense, it's not without merit. I'll link some music comparisons in the description for those curious. So, Resident Evil. I actually don't have a long-standing relationship with this franchise. Closest I got was being terrified of the Dino Crisis demo. Possibly just its main menu, I can't remember. But this series is so incredibly famous and influential that I could never escape hearing about it in magazines. People talking about the dog hallway and how scary Nemesis was, for example. So, since I was a massive coward who abhorred horrific violence, I didn't actually play the games myself to begin with. I watched Let's Plays and consumed the games that way. Didn't even fully play through this original game until 3 years ago. But now I'm back, aiming to pay it forward by making my own Let's Play of this game and hopefully many others in the series. To start us off, I have the manual here with some top secret information to introduce us to this insane universe. Mission: Racoon Forest. Force: S.T.A.R.S. Unit: Alpha Team. Location: Racoon Forest. Alpha Team consists of Barry Burton, Weapon Specialist, Joseph Frost, Vehicle Specialist, Chris Redfield, Marksman, Jill Valentine, Machine Expert. Kind of weird in retrospect, given where the series goes, but never mind. Brad Vickers, Pilot, Albert Wesker, Mission Leader. And then we have Bravo Team, which is Richard Eichen, Communications, Rebecca Chambers, Medical, Edward Dewey, Pilot, Enrico Marini, Mission Leader, Forrest Speyer, Vehicle Specialist, Kenneth J. Sullivan, Field Scout. Top Secret, again. Situation: new members of Alpha Team arrive in Racoon City late in day. Earlier, strange reports come in from locals about missing people and unusual sightings of dog-like monsters. The mangled remains of a woman hiker are fished out of river. The police report notes that something powerful had gotten a hold of her, judging by the depth of teeth marks. Most likely a grizzly or wolf attack. Public demands police action. Police actions include entrance to Mountain Road barricaded, S.T.A.R.S contacted. So, they don't really explain what S.T.A.R.S is. They're kind of like Racoon City's special strike force, which for a small midwestern town doesn't make any sense at all, but they do kind of retcon in a decent explanation later. But for now, they're basically the police superstars in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. S.T.A.R.S informed that Hiker was part of a tourist group that had gone into the mountains a few days earlier. S.T.A.R.S Bravo team joins mountainside search for more hikers. Starting a mission. Bravo team helicopter discovers a mansion. Engine fails. Helicopter goes down. Contact lost with Bravo team over mountains. Alpha team mission objectives. That's us. Investigate Racoon Forest area. Locate Bravo team helicopter. Locate and rescue Bravo team members. Bring situation under control. Sounds like something we can do. Hopefully. A very pedestrian main menu here. But we do have the selection of 3 different difficulty settings here. I'm playing Director's Cut, which adds the advanced mode. Otherwise, you would just have standard. I believe training mode is also new. These are basically normal, easy, and hard. Except, this is a special hard mode to try and get you to buy the game again. It's essentially the Master Quest version of the game that remixes all of the encounters and really messes with you. I've heard the Chris version of this is stupidly difficult. I haven't tested it, and I'm thinking about playing through it once we're done with the main playthrough. Nope. Stop. This is what I get for being chatty. Damn, attack mode triggered. Does have good advice, but I'm trying to talk here. There we go. What was I saying? Oh yeah, different versions. So there are a ton of like version differences between what's localized, which platform you're on, and all that fun stuff. Basically, the Western vanilla version didn't have lock-on in order to make the game harder to probably fight against rental services. Bastards. The original Japanese version did have lock-on. And then for this version, which is the second one, they made the game slightly easier on, well, standard since the other two didn't exist, while also adding these other difficulties. It's basically slightly easier monsters and more saves. And then I think for the DualShock version, they restored the difficulty, but they also changed the soundtrack for the worse, more or less. So I'm picking this version as the one to play. And play we shall. And what's the name of the game? Resident Evil. And here we have character selection. So this is a secondary difficulty modifier, you could say. Where our two characters here, Chris and Jill, they're sort of billed as the game's easy and hard mode. And that's because, numerically speaking, let's see, I have the numbers here. Jill here has 96 hit points. Chris has 140. So he is about 45% stronger than Jill, just health-wise. You would think, well, yeah, he's the easy mode then. No. Because Jill has deeper pockets. She can carry more items, and items is everything in classical Resident Evil. Because items keep you alive. Anyway, let me pull up their bios here quickly. Jill Valentine, age 23. An intelligent soldier that has saved many S.T.A.R.S members from danger in the past. Jill has been reassigned to Racoon City just like Chris. I'm not up to date on my deep Resident Evil lore, so I don't know what they actually do before the series begins, because, well, they haven't been fighting monsters exactly. So, I don't know, did they rescue cats, or fight terrorists, or who knows? She is excellent with special mechanical devices such as lockpicks, so the mechanic thing earlier, I guess that's kind of like an awkward translation. It's more that she's dexterous, I guess. Jill has strong moral convictions and fights for what she believes in. While she has a great capacity for holding items, her small vitality puts her at a disadvantage. Pretty ironic, given that she is limited to the oppressive horror that is female clothing and its lack of pockets, but that's what they decided. How about Chris? Age 25. After being kicked out of the Air Force... Reminder, this guy became a pilot at age 25, which is just ridiculous. Chris became a drifter until he met Barry Burton. Barry recruited him for the newly formed S.T.A.R.S. Now Chris has been reassigned to a smaller unit at Racoon City headquarters to prove himself quickly. Chris is a tough guy who possesses both a strong mentality and great vitality. Rhyming is fun. So, we're playing as both of these, one after the other. I'm starting with Jill, because she's essentially easy mode. I need to ease myself into things. That's not the last of the complications, because this game is kind of radical in its own franchise, because there are a lot of optional scenes and things you can do to, well, give the game replay value. But let's enter the world of survival horror. And enjoy this awesome intro.
Alpha Team is flying around the forest zone situated in northwest Racoon City, where we're searching for the helicopter of our compatriots Bravo Team, who disappeared during the middle of our mission.
Found it?
No, I haven't found it yet. Bizarre murder cases have recently occurred in Racoon City. There are outlandish reports of families being attacked by a group of about 10 people. Victims were apparently eaten. Bravo Team went to the hideout of the group and disappeared.
Special Tactics and Rescue Service.
Look, Chris!
So if you play the, I think, Japanese version, there is actually a quote-unquote uncensored version of these live-action cutscenes. I believe the impending gore is slightly more gruesome.
It was Bravo Team's helicopter. Nobody was in it. But strangely, most of the equipment was
And
stolen.
also, Chris smokes a bunch for some reason.
However, we soon discovered why.
And also, look at this amazing hair.
Hey! Come here!
The less you show the monster, the scarier it gets. Guess he's toast.
Joseph!
Are we winning? I think we're winning.
No! Don't go!
God damn it, Brad.
Jill, run for that house!
And that's our setup. And here's our cast and crew.
Chris Redfield,
Oh, that hair is amazing.
Jill Valentine, Barry Burton, Rebecca Chambers, Albert Wesker,
Amazing character design.
Resident Evil.
So fun fact, those guys aren't our voice actors actually. They're basically just random Western people they could drag in from the street to act. And we didn't know who they were for the longest time.
What is this?
Wow, what a mansion!
Captain Wesker, where's Chris?
Yeah, where is Chris?
Stop it! Don't open that door!
But Chris is...
What is it?
Maybe it's Chris. Now, Jill, can you go?
I'm going with you. Chris is our old partner, you know.
But he was just reassigned!
Okay, let me handle this.
Storytelling isn't this series' strong point, if you can't tell.
Stay alert!
They get slightly better at it eventually, but...
A dining room.
A dining room. Less zombified than the one in Alone in the Dark. Got some nice atmosphere going though. Let me hit pause here for a second. So, since Joseph just died, I might as well read out his bio here. Let's see. Age 27, Joseph Frost. Previous member of S.T.A.R.S Bravo team and already stationed in Racoon City, Joseph was recently promoted to serve as vehicle specialist for Alpha Team. Many members of Bravo team are jealous of his promotion, but he was moved up by Wesker himself. Joseph is a young, enthusiastic, and very curious, and also dead. As for Brad, who left us for dead, Brad is a computer expert and excels in information gathering. Unfortunately, his fear of dying draws much heat from his fellow soldiers. Understandable, he did just leave us in the ditch. His lack of enthusiasm for rushing into danger has earned him the nickname Chicken Heart. While Chris is a qualified pilot, Brad has become the helicopter pilot for Alpha Team. I also have Wesker's bio here. Age 38. Which is just weird in retrospect that he's 38 years old. You'll see that if you play the later games. Wesker has risen quickly inside the S.T.A.R.S organization and currently leads the Alpha Team. Viewed by many as a cool guy, from his snappy haircut to his perpetual shades, which he wears indoor and at night, as is tradition. Wesker was recruited by a headhunter for his sharp insight and eventually founded the S.T.A.R.S unit in Racoon City. So it's his pet project, this whole thing.
What? What is this?
What is it?
Blood. Jill, see if you can find any other clues. I'll be examining this. Hope this is not Chris's blood.
I'm not sure how you intend to tell, since you don't have any special equipment, it's just 2 bloodstains. Yeah, you can see his 2 brain cells jumping between positions there. You do actually get an optional little thing if you go back to the main hall, but I'll save that for later because I have business over here. Past this iconic loading screen transition. I can check things out here. Locked. Locked. And locked. Well, I don't even have my lockpick on me yet. We're still in the quote-unquote prologue. One thing that is kind of just weird, going back to this game in particular, is that even amongst the classical games... Oh yeah, you can do your sassy pose. Even amongst the classical games, they make slight adjustments and improvements to the game feel. And RE1 here, you don't have squat. Most of the buttons do nothing. So I can move, I can run, and soon I can gun, and that's about it. And here he is. It's our friend from Sweet Home, reimagined as a horrific zombie. So, Barry, help?
Barry?
What is it?
Watch out! It's a monster!
Let me take care of this.
World's strongest zombie, by the way, survived 3 magnum bullets, almost.
What is it?
Kenneth was killed too. Maybe by this creature. Anyway, let's report this to Wesker.
I'll pull up his bio too. Let's see here. Kenneth J. Sullivan, age 45. A quiet but very talented field scouting officer, also is an expert in chemistry. He wonders why his chemical experience would be necessary in Racoon City, but quickly discounts his hesitancy since Wesker himself sought him to enlist in S.T.A.R.S. Now you can see we actually have Barry with us too. So, I'm kind of working on the assumption that you watched the Sweet Home Let's Play, because this game was actually meant to be a remake of Sweet Home. Before things happened and everything changed. Probably for the better, all things considered. But we do have sort of echoes of Sweet Home throughout this game, like that zombie turn, for example. And we don't have the party system, but sometimes you just get a person following you. They would eventually play around with like a co-op and party system for later games. Right, can't do nothing.
Wesker! Help me look for him, Jill. And don't leave this hall for the time being.
I'm on the case. Another weird thing, if you've played the later games, the fact that there is nothing behind here feels very weird. Because, they sure love, calling back to the Spencer Mansion and expanding upon it, but right here it's very small.
Find anything, Jill?
Nothing. What is this all about? I can't figure it out at all.
Beats me, too.
Now it's Wesker's time to disappear. I don't know what's going on.
Well, it can't be helped. Let's search for him separately. I'll check the dining room again.
Okay, I'll try the door on the opposite side.
This mansion is gigantic. We could get into trouble if we get lost. We should start from the first floor, okay? And... Jill, here's a lockpick. It might be handy if you, the master of unlocking, take it with you.
He said the line.
Thanks. Maybe I'll need it.
Listen, if something happens, let's meet up in this hall. This time, I'll be there.
So, since I didn't play this game to death in the 90s, I don't have that much affinity for the funky voice acting. I don't mind it that much. The thing I mind more is actually the writing. But I'll get to that at a later date. Also, so he gave us some very, very handy instructions on where to go. Namely, over there, and explore the first floor here. But you do actually have a decent amount of freedom, at least to mess around and do some stuff. That is one of the core appeals of Resident Evil, which is to route between rooms and try to find the most efficient path for time and for resources. Because I have 15 bullets and a knife and a first aid spray, and that's it. And just to circle the eye here. It's bad outside. Very bad. Now, this freedom does allow you to mess around with the events a little bit. For example, I can go up here. And enjoy this very, very slow walk up the stairs. Nice hall, though. Kind of stupidly bright for a horror game, but it be what it is. So I'm going in here both to save myself a little bit of time, but also to get some zombie action going. And to do that, I need to equip my gun. So there are 2 zombies in here. You aim, and you shoot. And then, because I can, let's see if he's really dead. Oh wow, I actually got him. Amazing. Zombie health is actually randomized, which is one of the great features of this game that makes it very replayable. Where's the other one? Oh, he's guarding the statue. Come on, fella. Get over here. I can guide him around while I talk. So that means there is a small layer of randomness. Kind of like you would get in Sweet Home with the random battle numbers. But here, all of the numbers are static as far as damage is concerned. It's just enemy health is a bit spectrumized, let's say. So you can generally guess how strong a zombie is, but you won't know how many bullets it'll take. Already, pushing things, a lot more interesting than in Alone in the Dark. I'll pick that up later. As for this door over here, I believe this is a big nope spot. Let's have a look. Yep, I do not have the bullets for this. Now, I could spend health in order to get past those guys. But spending health to get past enemies is a very temporary solution that comes at a high cost. So unless you know what you're doing with your game route, I can't recommend it. But again, you can. I don't know exactly how fortuitous it is to go over there right now. But again, the first 2 floors here are relatively open, as long as you go in the right direction. For example, I skipped a door there that leads to a very, very fun weapon upgrade, which I'm ignoring for the time being. Instead, I want to explore over here. As this is actually a good thing to get done, and then call it a first episode. So this statue here, this kind of reminds me of the fountain in Sweet Home, the only, without the fountain. If I had let the track mode play, you would have seen this, which is just a nice way of showing you how to get the map. Map is very helpful. So is... There we go. So I don't have a map button, sadly. So I have to go through this every time. Now you can see everywhere that I've been and the current room I'm in. So we don't have the quality of life features that you get in later games, or even the remake of this one. But you can at the very least see where you haven't been, and where you are, and where you should go. Hopefully. Let's get this out of the way too. And enjoy our static camera angles. Are you alive? Oh, you are alive. Hey, go away. Yeah! That's another fun thing you can do. You see, I paid a little bit in health there. I'm no longer in green, fine. But that is an insta-kill on a zombie. So if you can knock them down and have them nibble on you. And make that your payment for the encounter. And you saw there, I picked up 3 ink ribbons. So in DualShock and in Vanilla, that would have been 2 ink ribbons, and you need them to save. And that is also a stark improvement over Sweet Home and Alone in the Dark, because you could quick save in those games. Which kind of incentivizes a bad experience, because you get very paranoid and you don't take risks. Here, on the other hand, well, you gotta. You can only save so many times. So let me do just that. And take these ink ribbons too. You get a lot of them to start with. I don't think they starve you for them. Might be in one of the other games they do it for like the middle. And here you can see my completed first playthrough save, more or less. I did poke at the DS version once upon a time, but I didn't beat it. So let's replace this. That's a good noise. Well then, the mansion is our oyster and many horrors await. Until then, farewell.